wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big stepper, underground methods, top-notch hoes.
Zerra literally just got an inquiry for an Airbnb.
Just got an email for you.
Yeah. Today I am actually staying at one of my students' properties. Her name is Zerra. I'm gonna obviously update how my stay went, and then tomorrow I'm gonna give Zerra my honest thoughts about how this property is. But honestly, just from looking at it, it's absolutely stunning. So I am sure she's gonna pass with flying colours. So first and foremost, let's actually do a tour of the entire place.
Welcome to my SA lounge area here. So this is also a sofa bed, for an extra person, extra guest to have a bit of a lie-in. Dining table can be used as a working space as well, and then we've got the kitchen area here. We've got the oven, fridge, microwave. We've got all the utensils.
The majority of the hard furnishings come with it then?
Yeah, it was just this is how exactly when I got it, even though the kettle.
Oh, lovely. You did a really nice shape as well, because it goes in a U.
Double room, at least 2 guests, and we've got electric heating on as well. 2 twin beds in this room here, and in this room we have the ensuite as well, so you have your own private toilet, shower. This bathroom's quite, spacious as well. And I feel like if you've got more than 4 guests, you need at least 2 bathrooms.
So it sleeps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
Realistically, I'd say 4, but obviously if they want to push it to 5, you can push yourself to 5.
It's good because you never know that people having the option there.
A few on the sofa bed as well.
Yeah, honestly, I think you could fit even 1 more person if you wanted to. That master bedroom is so spacious. You could literally put an extra bed out just for cleaners to put out specifically for them during the changeovers if you wanted to. So that could be an option in the future.
Of course. My majority of bookings are group bookings.
Probably because there's parking included as well.
Parking's free, so we just need to place a parking permit out there just to avoid fines.
And how close is it to the centre? 8 minutes?
City centre, probably 8 minutes.
Yeah.
After COVID, I had a baby, and that's when I was made redundant, unfortunately. I was just a full-time mum after that. Being a full-time mum, I think that's what changed me. He is my first priority. I'm not going to go into a 9-to-5 job. I don't want to be under control of anyone. I don't want to be stuck in that routine that I won't be giving time to my, for my family. That's when I think you came along and I saw your videos, and I thought this is quite inspiring, because I was actually in a council estate myself.
Obviously money is one thing, you can afford a lot of stuff, but it's more of the opportunity and the life it brings you. It's not fun living in a council estate. I was going from council flat to council home. For me, it was more my parents.
Family, isn't it? There's nothing more important than family.
Corporate world is so difficult for mums. For example, if you need to go for school and you have to feel kind of guilty for even bringing that up, because of that you're seen as flaky or some rubbish like that. It's all these preconceptions.
9-to-5 job is not reliable, so this is why I thought, I need to work under myself. When I had open rent, I messaged one of the landlords. By luck, I guess it was available for me. I did like it. I just needed doing up. And that's when I called you and I said I'm 50-50 about this property. It was just this lounge that needed doing up. Then that's what it was. And when when you gave me the courage, that's when I said, okay, let's do it. And as soon as we got the keys, I was literally on it.
Because you don't want to waste any time.
You don't want to waste time.
Do most of your bookings come from Airbnb then, or Booking.com?
Majority, I get a mix actually. I get some on Booking.com and Airbnb. 2 or 3 bookings from Agoda as well. Yeah, and I've just recently put it on Verbo.
So how much are you paying for the rent then?
It is $1,300. Charge around £90 to £100, but if it's a weekend, I charge $120 to $150.
And what about there's an event?
Oh yeah, in events. Yeah, we've already got bookings for next year. Park Life, I believe it is,
at peak prices.
And it was peak prices.
Yeah. If you set down a non-cancellation fee, it's that's there. Even if they don't arrive, you'll still have it.
Exactly.
So now that it's all set up and running, how many hours are you spending every week on it?
I've just measured to get. I've probably come here after a month later. I don't physically come out here because my cleaner does most things for me. I wouldn't know how to do it if I was always into it. That was not my thing. I wanted something that was giving me some income and giving me some, hands off. I think the main thing about Airbnb, make some effort to finding the right Airbnb in the right location and list it and your job's done.
I remember the initial call with you, it's you've been thinking about it for a while. Yeah. So it's what made you actually just go for it? I'm not gonna just think about it anymore.
Yeah. I think I was ready for it in the beginning of the year, but then I had a trip away, and when I came back I was I want to do this. I was really determined. I was Glenna, teach me how to do this. Yeah. I think it took me just under a month or so to find properties in Manchester. Within that, I did go into agents. I did call around, hand out my business cards. There's some hard work and a bit of effort and a bit of luck.
You make your own luck, right? Yeah, so it's that wouldn't have happened if you hadn't have done all that.
No. Obviously, the knowledge that I got from yourself.
It's funny because our parents' generation, they think that 9 to 5 is more stable, but I've been let go. Other people in the group, Jasmine, Ajin, they got let go of their roles. It's so unstable because you're so disposable.
It really broke my heart when I was made redundant. Something that was wasn't my fault.
You work so hard.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? You
it's
make a
not
good
fair.
impression and then it doesn't matter.
But yeah, I think having a side business is always secure. You don't have to worry about, oh, I need to wake up at this time. I need to be here at this time. Like Airbnb, you don't have to worry anything about the hours. The hours you only put in is when you're setting it up.
Yeah.
After that, you don't put any
No,
hours.
exactly.
Like tiny messages, yes, it's available. That's all you do.
Maybe it's like an hour a week in total, maybe then? Probably.
Not even an hour.
You obviously don't regret going into
No,
it. Yeah.
no.
Is there any advice that you'd give to other people who are like struggling?
Be your own boss. Step up. Have the courage. I learned from someone, if you have savings and it's just sat there in the bank, that's not going to be worth the same amount in the next few years. You might as well make use of those savings if you have it.
It's so funny. I saw a quote the other day where it's like, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah,
And it's like,
it's true. It's
Yeah.
true, and it's something to look forward to as well. 9 to 5 is boring. Like this, it's a different experience. It actually is quite, exciting sometimes when you see that piece of income coming in. That's exciting.
Booking.com has that ching notification.
That sound.
Yeah. And Zara literally just got an inquiry
just
for an
literally now, I
Airbnb.
just got an email inquiry.
Yeah.
Like our Asian backgrounds, the families of it, we don't get that push.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
It is very true. Then you see only like the male relatives
Yeah.
like go into property, you never see like the girls
Yeah.
because you don't see it. It doesn't even register as a possibility.
Yeah, they come from the area then.
Yeah, so it's 2018. Yeah. So I stayed at Airbnb for the first time. That was art.
Yeah.
This is like, I saw like the cutlery, every place with IKEA on it.
Yeah.
I literally from there I just like planned it. You know what? It's like I always say, it's like if you get promoted at like your workplace, right? It's more stress and more things on your plate.
Yeah.
But when it's like you have more Airbnb,
but
it's
the
less.
same. Yeah,
It's less.
you don't have to deal with
Yeah, because you have all
Yeah,
the team.
that's true.
You have all
That's
the
true.
systems.
I think I respect her because she's been in and out of jobs
Yeah.
where like, they treat her unfairly and then she just put her foot down and said, you know what, I'm not going back.
You're not.
And then that's where she started her business.
So I kept it quiet
Yeah.
until obviously the articles came
Oh,
out.
wow. Well, how did your parents react to that?
Oh, you know how typical it is. Oh, so risky.
Yeah.
You know, people call it raising the term, like your reason, your purpose in life. And it's like, I felt like, oh, that was my purpose. Because like, when I woke up every morning, I was like, I had no accountability. So I think she suffered my mental health. And so...
Oh, I'm so sorry you felt that way.
It's
Because mental health is quite
Yeah.
big thing for me.
I did CBT, I did just like focus there. The majority of it is just self-work, focusing on like growing the business and stuff like that. And that really helps. So you see something like from like goes like super small and like grow bigger before your eyes.
It's amazing what you've done and how you've come.
Because nowadays men are like,
Oh, so today's been a really busy day. I had like a 6 a.m. start and then we came into the city. Shut up. So I'm very, very tired, but I'm glad we got a lot done today. I went and visited a few of my students' properties. There's a annoying cow next to me. I was gonna go to the mall, but honestly just got too knackered, and so we're just gonna just basically watch TV and just relax and enjoy the amenities that Zerra has to offer. Just look at the decor behind me. It looks stunning, and like everywhere I turn, it's like, it's so aesthetic. So I just love how she paid such attention to like the smaller details. So she's done really, really well, and I'm actually enjoying my time here as a guest. Good morning. So it's currently the next day. Yeah, I spent the night here. It was absolutely lovely. I actually enjoyed every second of it because the longer I stayed here, the more details I noticed. Like for example, like during the tour, I didn't even notice like there was like a cute little like wine cellar thing. And there's like stuff like that everywhere, just like cute little knickknacks that are just really pretty and just makes like the whole vibe go off.
I really love the decor. It made it feel really like homely. Especially like, if I can like show
Yeah, go ahead.
That painting there just made it like give a pop of colour.
She obviously has like a really good eye because if you want like a bougie look, usually it's a long curtain will do it. And these are obviously blackout ones as well. And then like a nice standing lamp. I think in my furnishing list that I give out to my mentees, I say like try and get like a stand lamp if you can, just to put in the corner, or like a potted plant. It just adds a pop of something like in the pictures. So as a guest, I would give a review. I would say genuinely it was 5 stars. Yeah, and I had a very lovely host who actually, Zerra, she took us out to eat yesterday and then like did like a mini tour of Manchester, which was actually really lovely.
I want to thank Zerra as well, even though like I just met her yesterday. She was a lovely host, her hospitality was great, and she's really proud of Manchester, and I felt like she really invited us here.
We are now checking out. Yesterday was nice actually meeting Zerra in person. And straight after that, I visited another one of my mentees' properties. His name is Vep, bless him. He has done so well being a university student, and it's a really like kind of tough degree as well that he's doing on top of his part-time jobs. So he's done so well with setting up his property. His property actually was completely old and needed so much refurbishment, and it took him a lot of work to get to the point where it is today. It's still not 100% done, but I wanted to visit it because it is actually only, I think, 8-10 minutes away from where this one is located. So I figured let's go visit it, and I'll show you the tour now. You've done such a good job because it didn't look like this when you got it, right?
Yeah,
it looked completely different.
First I painted it white, then I painted it blue, but then I was like, it doesn't look good. To look at all the Airbnb. So these old stuff, I got it from like B&M.
Was that TV always there on the wall, or did you put it up
I
there?
had to get that done.
This is a lot nicer than what it used to look, because it was like really outdated. You completely like renovated it.
Yeah,
then.
completely renovated.
Yeah. Wow, where did you find these tiles?
Tiles, I actually subcontracted it. This is the zip and link, they go together.
Oh, lovely! It's a zip and link.
This
This has a lot of potential because of all of these. Are all of these for storage? All of them. The way it looked before, the way you've done it now is like insane. How long did it take you to like get all of this up and running then?
Probably 2 months to renovate it because I was busy with university.
Yeah.
Builders were taking long, and then eventually my dad came from Sri Lanka, so me and my dad had to finish.
That's the thing, is that you cannot rely on contractors sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why I would say you have to have backups for backups, because these things do happen. They just kind of like start a job and they don't finish it. You mentioned you were at university.
Yeah.
What got you into like doing it then?
I was initially looking into real estate. I was thinking, okay, I got this much money, what I can put into. Then I was thinking, rent a HMO. In Manchester it doesn't work. And then it was like service accommodation. And then one of my friends also was Krishna. He also did service accommodation, so I increased my confidence.
It's funny because I think, was it that you and Krish met Alfie, and that's how you guys like found out?
Not about service accommodation, but about you. And you started to pop up on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're like,
So like when you started learning, did everything make a bit more sense? Because like you mentioned, you already knew about rent to rent. Service accommodation is like a whole other thing, right?
looked at other people like Ahmed, and then also looked at yours. I wanted to work. I don't want my money to just sit there.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something business. So I was like, you know what, I'll do this. And I also need a mentor.
A lot of people always say that if it's in the bank, it depreciates because it's not going to
Yeah.
have the same value 5 years from
I'd
now.
rather wanted to do with that money rather than sitting there. I don't mind if we lose because at least I try something.
Kind of, what's like the goal for you then?
My main goal, not just service accommodation, I want to do something with the construction business, which is why I'm studying civil engineering, and I want to take it to the next level. But my main goal is I want to own a property.
A lot of people tend to just like only rely on booking.com, Airbnb.
I've actually converted some bookings to direct, so like
Good.
through Airbnb, and I said like find me on social media.
So is there like any advice you'd give to anyone trying to get started in this business?
You just asked me like that. It's easy to say you want to do service accommodation, but you need to look at it as a long term. Because before I was going to do it, I was like, yeah, I'm confident. When you're doing it, you feel less confident. Once you took a decision, you need to be like strong enough to be like confident. Okay, I took this decision. There's no way like thinking, oh yeah, this can't work and stuff. If you want it to work, you have to go 100% in. There's no like 50%.
That's the thing. You have to commit to your decision and you have to put in the work. You don't do anything, obviously nothing's going to happen.
Just because you got the knowledge doesn't mean you can do it in experience. You know what I mean? You're going to learn through it.
Okay, like going to university and then getting a job is two, like one's practice, one's theory,
Yeah, it's
right?
all about the experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're just leaving now. We're dropping the keys off onto the lockbox and then we're getting an Uber. I was going to say this earlier, but the funny thing is, like, when you see loads of lockboxes outside of a building, you know the building does SA. I didn't actually talk about the property that I went after Zerra's, so I'll do that in a bit. After Zerra's property, we went to Vep's. How did you, like, find it?
So it's very spacious, it's big, it has a lot of potential because it's right next to the stadium.
Yeah, location was like prime. Yeah, like really good location. He needs to finish it, but the minute he does, I feel like
It'd be high demand.
yeah, it performs so well.
Yeah.
Good morning. So after checking out of Zerra's essay, her Airbnb. Me and my best friend, who's been with me along this entire trip, we actually last minute extended our stay. We last minute booked a room at the Edwardian here. We've already actually settled down a bit. We were absolutely shattered, but it's just kind of like a standard room because we booked it so last minute. Nothing fancy, but I'll give you the room tour anyways. Bathroom obviously is a bit messy, just ignore that. Bathtub is over here, and then just next to the bathroom there's some storage. Over here is just the bedroom. The view is actually pretty nice. Obviously it could be better, but it's Manchester, like what is there to view, do you know what I mean? There's only a couple of buildings and maybe like a clock tower. So now we are probably gonna go grab a bite to eat.
Real things do not come easy, no. Never been your average girl, so take time with me.
So we have just come back from dinner at a really nice restaurant called, I think, Cibo or Cibo. I don't know what it is. People always...
I think it's Cibo.
I think
It's Cibo.
I think it's Cibo, but then people online say it's Cibo, but then I see comments correcting them. So I don't know. If you're a local in Manchester, please let me know what the pronunciation is. But yeah, it was stunning. The decor was amazing. The bill wasn't so amazing, but like that's what happens when you go to these kind of places. It's always funny though, because me and my friend, the food is never... It never like hits the same way as those hole in the wall spots, but you can't complain about like the vibes and stuff. Only recently started going to these types of places anyway. It's nice because growing up we were kind of just always the type to like spend for ourselves. If we wanted something we would have to get it. We couldn't rely on family or parents to do it, which is actually good in a way because that's how we became so self-sufficient, and that's actually one of the major attributes how I was able to start my own business, because I was so used to not relying on anyone. If I wanted to get it done, I would just go do it, even if it meant like a lot of toil and trouble. It's gonna catch an early night because these past couple of nights I've been so sleep deprived. But yeah, like I mentioned, really productive and actually really meaningful day. What was also lovely was meeting another one of my mentees' property. The only sad thing was that I couldn't see Anissa because she's super busy being a mom and balancing a job. But because she connected with someone else in the group, Alphi, he actually does management for her. I don't know if I've explained it properly before, but essay management is essentially if you have an essay, an Airbnb, but you don't necessarily want to deal with the day-to-day tasks like cleaning, maintenance, all of that kind of stuff, guest communications, then you can just pay someone else to do it and then they take a fee, essentially like a co-host. And that's what Alfie does for Anissa, and they actually met through the group and now they are on their way to becoming financially free. Alfie, this isn't your essay, is it?
No, it's not.
So how did that even come about?
I just thought that it was easier. She wanted like a hands-off investment. Every single time I'm calling her, she's on the school run, so I thought like it would be easier for me to just take over. On top of that as well, I'm trying to set up a management company, so I thought it would be a good start to help someone in the group.
He's actually going to take us on a tour of this essay, so do you want to start us off?
Yeah, it's a one double bed. You notice that with these houses, I've noticed most of the beds are built into the wall.
It's downstairs. That's kind of like a new concept.
I've noticed in Stoke-on-Trent, a lot of those houses do have downstairs bedrooms. Here you've got the living room, kitchen coming into the living room.
I think this is the best part because like look how cohesive it is. The worktops are really nice finish.
And if you can see underneath, we decided to add stools and relax, you know.
Yeah. Because you can literally class it as like a worktop space.
You can see it's normal kitchen, you got your gas cooker, you got your oven. Not too far from Bolton Towers as well. I think about 35 to 40 minute drive.
That is so good.
So pretty good location, and as you probably see when you came, Staffordshire University is just down the road as well. So yeah, it can attract different types of people. And contractors can just play this as well.
Last night
out. So once again, another double
this
desk.
room is super spacious.
Yeah. I feel like we can add another bed in here.
Oh yeah, for sure. You don't need to like splurge out all the expenses at once. You can grow it and take it from the business rather than from like a pot at the start. That's why I'd always say like you can be super flexible with how much you start with. What's this then?
I'll take that. I haven't been to. I'm not looking to go into.
The upstairs rooms are super spacious.
Yeah.
It's like there's just like so much there.
The more I come in, the more I see the size of it. I think what it is because obviously with these being built in, you kind of think, maybe I can't add to it. But realistically, all it takes is just moving this and just putting that there somewhere.
Exactly.
Literally look at his face.
Yeah,
Probably
massive.
gonna fit another double bed.
Yeah.
No, this is actually the first time I've seen built-in beds. I didn't even know they existed.
No,
Yeah.
it's a very rare thing. I didn't know they still do those,
It
but
might
I
be a
guess
stock
they
and
do.
trend thing.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. Yeah.
I'm not from up north, I'm down south. Gavin, why do you want this job?
What happened is obviously Anisha, she got a deal passed on to her. So we just broke down the deal. Does it fit purpose for contractors? Is it close to university? Is it close for tourists? Is it close to a hospital? It did take like at least 5 out of 6. So it's like, you know what, the deal does stack. And with the rent not being as expensive, for you know what, let's obviously go for it. When obviously we did come here, we still had to add a few things to it. After that, I told Anisha, okay, that's fine, leave it with me.
How has like the experience been like being part of the group? I feel like you made so many connections and you've created so many opportunities from it, right?
With me, I've got obviously a sales background, and I just genuinely just want to help people. I've always been like that, even put like this to the side. And also with Anisha's, it was more like she wanted her hands off. She didn't really want to be there. She got kids, family. As much as Stoke from Manchester is not too far, but when you've got a family, it's far. For example, if things wasn't happening to how she wants to happen, she don't really have the time to message the cleaners, do this, do that, but I do. And another thing I've done is, which you've always mentioned, that I've made a good relationship with the cleaner. So we've got a cleaner that basically overseeing the property. So I've built that, and Anisha doesn't have to be involved because she trusted me to just deal with that side of things. Although I haven't known her for so long, it's crazy to say that, but the relationship's been it's been really well, yeah.
Because like you mentioned, it's like when you have a good cleaner, it's kind of like half the job,
Yeah.
right? If you can't physically be there, at least a cleaner can do something. Like, can you go out and get this, and they'll actually do it.
The reason why I liked this cleaner, I know we'll move the topic to the cleaners, but the reason why I like this cleaner is because I was here on the day we came to clean. And she went home, I stayed. The reason why I stayed is because I wanted to call out a cleaner. I wanted to see a cleaner that's ready to go, because I was like, listen, I'm in Stoke-on-Trent right now. Are you available to come see the property and give me a quote? This cleaner was all the way about an hour away. He said, I'm gonna make it.
Wow.
So I waited for an extra hour before I got my train back to Manchester, and he came, looked around, ready to go. He's like, okay, I can do this for this price. Ever since then, I just kept a good relationship with him. That's why I liked him, because like, he was ready to go there and then.
But you do have your own essay coming up.
The deal first came, it was very high, so it didn't really, well, it did stack, but I still wanted to go lower anyways. The place was like, students were living there, so there was broken bits here and there, so I used that to leverage my negotiations, and so I managed to get the deal down from about, just round up to about £8,000 and down to about £6,000 all in.
I think you joined like the group in January and then you got it recently. What kind of made you be so patient about it?
I just knew it was coming. Don't get me wrong, I had days I was thinking, oh, what's going on? What I did is, okay, cool, let me work backwards in terms of like, let me build as much connections as possible and just tell everyone what I do. And that's what I did. I built so much connections from people like since February, March and stuff like that. And then I got to like April, May, June, and then they was coming to me like, oh, Alfie, we've got this, we've got that. Even before this essay, I remember telling you I had two, which was a bit too far from Manchester, so I had to turn down the landlord. So when I got to a stage of saying, oh, you really turning down landlords now? I was like, yeah, I'm getting it coming, and I could feel it. I was like, alright, you know what, I'm saying no to landlords. Yes, I'm in. You're human being. Sometimes you just think now, but you gotta be patient. Obviously have the conversation with you. I didn't have that mindset ever, oh, I'm gonna give up, because I didn't have it in about 2 months. Because I feel like if you do, you have it in the back of your mind, it just never ends up happening anyway. So
I genuinely think that's the only way you could fail at essay, is like if you take on a property without like the proper due diligence.
No, 100%. Like the essays that I said no to, if there was like my third one, I can take that risk. I remember I spoke to one in Denton. Like it was a good like getaway essay. Like very
it wasn't
spacious.
bad, no.
Because it was my first one. Just sometimes you gotta be smart with these things, because as much as you want to get the essay very quickly, and you can end up just saying yes very quickly, because it's like, oh, the landlord said yes, let me just say yes, and then you get to it, you're like, oh. I'll be honest with you, 90% of me, if I didn't have that conversation with you, 90% of me was saying, just take it off you, bro, just take it, like it's your first one. But I was like, you know what, let me speak to Lena, let me see what she thinks. I was like, Lena, is this far? She's like, yeah, it's a bit.
I was just like, are you making this decision based off logic or emotion?
No.
So like from the journey from like the start to now, and obviously like how far you've come, what kind of is the advice that you'd give for anyone looking to get started in property?
Just don't give up, stay consistent. Like, you should just keep working hard. What it is, because you can get so close. I know we've all seen that meme of the guy like trying to beat out the diamonds, and then there's one person really close and he gives up. Like, you get so close and you just get that one no and then you just want to give up. So you just gotta just keep pushing. Like it's normal, you get more no's than yeses, because you gotta imagine yourself, like a lot of people are calling estate agents or landlords saying the same thing. How can I be different? I've never been a giver upper anyways.
Okay.
But obviously I get that it can be a bit overwhelming, like when you're getting no's, you start to question that, does this work? But like you have proof, you have evidence that it does work, and you've had, not just me, but there's loads of people in the group that have all got essays, and they just went boom, 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 boom. Like even with me, like there's people that came after me that got essays before me, but that didn't make me feel any type of way. I was just like, yeah, I can definitely get my essay. Like everyone's still getting an essay. Like it does work. So it's like just don't, like literally just don't give up. As much as you can have hard days, if you need to take a breather, take a breather. You need to speak to someone. I literally message like everyone in the group. Like, see if you need to speak to me. Like I said, just don't give up, keep going, and you'll definitely find them, because that's me. Like, well, I didn't get my first one until 8 months in. I didn't give up. It's not because it doesn't work. It's just I just tried to see everything I can do to make it work. So, and I'm happy now. So yeah.
It's basically 2 p.m. now on a Friday. So right now we're just at the mall. Did a bit of damage, as you can see. I spent a lot more than I was expecting to, but now just basically having a bite to eat before we go and have early dinner. The rest of the night we'll just be chilling, packing, and then tomorrow we'll be completely back to normality and back at home. This is basically what I got. It is like the Tatcha dewy cream, it's the serum, the face wash, and then like a shower gel. You don't really want to look up the prices for these. I don't know if anyone's a Bridgerton fan here, but there's the actress, I think her name is Nicola, and she uses this. I think she's in like her mid to late 30s, and like she doesn't look a day over 24. So I would highly recommend these if you have the budget for it.
Every time the weekend comes, yeah, I know that it won't be long, yeah. So you're gonna call my phone, yeah. You'll be like, babe, come over. I know how this goes, yeah.
So I'm just going to record into here because I don't know if you can hear me that well. But basically this is the last day here in Manchester, finishing it off with a nice meal. Most of my days are basically just trapped at my desk, so it's not very often that I can go out like this for such a long time. I spend all day with my mentees, visiting their properties, seeing what more we could do. Seeing where they are now, it kind of reminds me of like when I first started. You can just see the passion there and all the ambition. For me, I was very lost in life before I found Airbnb. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't have any goals. I was just going through the motions of having a job or having a degree because that's what I thought was correct, not knowing there were other options for me. And it's a really common question I get all the time. It's like, how do you know that you can take the leap? And honestly, the success rate of any venture you fall into is totally dependent on you. It's not an overnight thing. It's not, let me just put in some effort for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh, nothing's working out, something's wrong. Oh, I'm just going to give up. It's about consistent effort over time. You always have to remember the reason why you first jumped into it. And if you do want to know more, I would just say invest in yourself, start learning, and anybody can do it. All it takes is a bit of courage. And that's it for now, and I'll catch you on the next one.